as to why a lot of jobs are failing today is because of the fact that you have people that are rude towards an employee. You got leadership that will cuss out an employee, and then other employees, because they're buddy buddies with each other, they tend to take up for each other, right? But if you get in trouble, you're out the door. They're gonna make sure that they fire you. They're gonna spy on you and see what they can get you in a "I got you" moment, and then they put you to HR and they'll get you fired. Another reason why a lot of jobs are failing because you have a bunch of people that are in leadership. They train you how to do the job, but they don't train you how to do a job in a timely manner so that it's not an issue. People are so comfortable in their leaderships because they get extra days off, then they get more PTO than anybody, they get more privileges. They get all of these things. Another issue is the fact that a lot of these jobs in the workforce, they set up new employees up for failure. They don't want to train them. They don't have no patience. It's like they just throw things in your face and they just expect for you to pull a Houdini rabbit out of a hat, and they expect you to figure it out. A lot of people that I've bumped into, most of them are doing Uber Eats, DoorDash, Lyft, because some of them told me that they don't like working a job because working another job is just it's too toxic. And for once, I agree with them. And then for the most part, they don't train you the way they need to train you. But then they expect you to meet an expectation that is supposed to be to their criteria. And if you don't meet that, then they send you out the door. It's clearly that I spoke to a guy. He was an Uber driver. This guy was working, I think he's working some other office job. He said he only been working there for 2 weeks. Just for 2 weeks. And they let him go. And then another issue is that there's too many layoffs. The layoffs is extremely high. People come and they go. They don't care about you or your family. It's like then you have to give out some announcements to let people know that you got to have this day off because you got this and that going on, when you really don't have to do that. Because if they're giving you the time that's there for you to use, you don't owe nobody an explanation. You are your own person, just like they are their own person. But the problem is with these people is, most of them is they have this dysfunctional vibe and attitude. They preach about communication. None of them communicate. None of them do the things that they're expecting other people to do when on a job. You ever notice that? You have leadership, supervisors, managers, and the list goes on. They all tell you what you're supposed to do, but when it comes time for them to be an example of that, they're never an example of that. Just like I worked, my second job that I work is, I work for Securitas. And this lady, I called her, she's a supervisor. And I asked her about, talked to her about what days I was available to work. And instead of her, being like, okay, so, and confirming it and then hang up, she turns around and starts disrespecting me over the phone and talking about, yeah, 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 you're complaining because HR, that you're not getting enough hours. Yeah, 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 your schedule keeps constantly changing. And I'm going to tell you something too. People don't understand the context that they use and the words that they use, and you're just sitting there listening to them like they don't even know the difference. It is like these women that are mostly in these positions, they don't know how to have basic conversations with people. They can't even tell you if you give them basic math, just basic math. They can't even explain to you. They can't even tell you what 8 times 8 is, or what 12 times 3 is, or what 7 times 5 is. You got some women out here that can't even pronounce a certain fruit, like papaya, for example. Instead of saying papaya, they say papaye, which is ridiculous, right? But these women claim that they're the most educated. They got degrees. They're strong and independent, right? And if you guys want to hear about my Red Pill channel, check me out on Nightmares of the Matrix. But to stay on topic, jobs are declining, and a lot of people are getting tired of having to get up every day and punch a clock just to get to work. And the company will decide how much they will pay you, what they think you should get based on the hours you work. So most people are starting to wake up from that, and they're starting to see that passive income is better than earned income. Now, I'm not going to say there are some people that are probably just working a job temporarily until they can find something else, or maybe they're going to school or whatever they're doing. But my issue is people on these jobs, they don't really care about other people as they led themselves on to be. When they get in these positions, higher up roles, whether it's HR, supervisor, manager, coach, team lead, process assistant, whatever the case may be, they get too comfortable in these positions to where they have trained, they send somebody to train you, you get half trained, and then they throw you out there, you don't meet their expectations, they secretly move you somewhere else, or they'll make up some story talking about we get this and this and that, so they let you go and have somebody else working there because you don't have the qualifications to even work that job. But they let you work there until when their business started to pick up, when they start to find people that actually is qualified, they let you go. Most people will say, well, we definitely need somebody in this shift and on that shift. You go there and you work, and you're out of the door so quick before you can find out how you got fired. You see, working these jobs is not even worth it. And then on top of that, you're working, this is coming from a person, once again, that is working 3 jobs. 3 jobs. 3. Not 2, but 3. And to tell you right now, it's starting, the whole turnover rate is getting in the red, but it's like none of it really matters anymore. A lot of jobs are losing their contracts because they can't hire people fast enough to maintain the positions. You got to come to work and deal with people and their attitudes, They all nice to you one minute, then the next minute they act like you don't even exist. They become in like a whole different person. A whole different vibe change. Their whole energy changes. And I peeped it. I pay attention to a lot that goes on in most of these jobs. And the best thing to do in this situation is isolate yourself. Don't speak unless somebody speaks to you, unless you're being spoken to. That's the way I do it at my job. I've had some people pass by me. They give me this smile. You know how when you pass by somebody and they give you this smile, like, instead of saying hi, how you doing, they just give you that weird face and stuff, and I'm just looking at them really stupid. Like, I'm not. What is that supposed to mean, right? And working in the workforce has taught me is to just have this distaste of being around people, period. And this is a guy that lives in Alaska. And some of the things I've seen up close, it's crazy. And what it's taught me is my distaste for being around people. Because when you're around people, you get attitudes. People treat you a certain way. People always want to try you. They always want to try and do something, and then or try to find something because they want to figure out, like, okay, so what's gonna get him? We need to find. That's what they have nothing else better to do, right? But this video's getting too long. All I can tell you guys from telling you all this is get out of the rat race. Start a business, start a YouTube channel, whatever. Go to, maybe do commissions, something. Get out of a 9-to-5 job. Because working a 9-to-5 job, dealing with people all the time versus the skills that you can learn from it, you can take it and implement it into your business. Or if you're trying to save up money so that you can do something else, that's also fine. But don't stay in a rat race job forever. Alright, thank you guys for watching. If you guys can relate, or if I'm speaking to your soul, or if I'm speaking to you directly and you feel like this is something that you go through as well, like and comment. And if you want to see more videos like this, please comment. Please subscribe. Drop a comment. I read comments, and soon I'll be doing comment shoutouts. So, thank you guys for watching. Signing out.